Hello everyone and welcome back to the Find Your Feet podcast, a podcast show dedicated to helping you get closer to your true authentic self by helping you find your feet in life.
Welcome back to the show, everyone. Today we're talking all about confidence, but not in the traditional way that you think. We're going to talk about redefining confidence and just to look at it like a whole new way. Like after this episode, you're going to be boosted up with confidence in a way you've never imagined before.
Having confidence in yourself is so important. It's essential for building your dream life and getting what you deserve and being in like healthy friendships, healthy relationships. Like everything comes down to that level of like confidence, self-love. So yeah, we're going to be teaching you how to build your confidence, things that might be knocking your confidence that you don't even realize. Going through body image as well, because that's such a big thing when it comes to confidence, and redefining that. And yeah, so get ready for the end of this episode. You're going to be feeling confident as fuck.
Yeah, because it's so true. Like literally, if you do not back yourself, no one else will. So confidence is a main thing, especially for all our audience that are really out there trying to push and get what they want out of life.
Yeah. And when you're finding your feet in life, confidence is one of those things that you have to learn how to build. Especially when you're like as a woman and you're growing up, and in our society there's so much like subconscious messaging putting out to you that just knocks your confidence.
Yeah. So
it's like takes a lot of strength to actually be like, do you know what? No, I'm going to build my own confidence. But there's like set tools of how to do it, and that's what we're going to go through today.
Yeah, that's very true. I feel like in this world, a lot of things are taught to make us actually feel much smaller.
Yeah.
And feel like we need more for consumption, everything like that. So yeah, actually learning to be confident from within is very important. And I think we should just kick it off with this whole idea of redefining confidence. Because I, for one, when I was growing up, used to think that confidence meant like the loudest person in the room, the person that always has something to say, the person that just always spoke out loud. And because I was quite quiet growing up as well, I used to always think, well, that means I'm not confident. But when I read Glennon Doyle's book, Untamed, which we've talked about on many episodes, it's an incredible book for building confidence. And I think especially for building confidence, being a woman, like there's so many amazing nuggets of wisdom. So if you haven't read that book, highly, highly recommend it. And there's a chapter within it where she's talking about redefining confidence with her daughter. I can't remember the specifics of the actual chapter, but she was saying that her daughter didn't want to do something, and someone was pushing her to almost do it. And she was worried that she wouldn't come across as confident for not doing it. But Glennon stepped back and said to her daughter, the actual most confident thing you can do is follow your own voice and your own truth. Like that is confidence. So you don't have to be like the loudest person in the room. You don't have to go and do things that everybody else is doing. Confidence is doing what you want to do and listening to your inner voice. And when I read that chapter, I thought, oh my God, that makes so much sense. Like just because you're not the person that wants to jump around, you're not the person that wants to maybe follow a certain career path, you want to do something else. Having the confidence to actually follow your inner voice and do that instead of following all the sheep of the world, that is confidence.
Yeah, like not following your peers and doing what is best for you and what's true to you. But it's so true, people always assume confidence is means extroverted, super loud, or bubbly, and if you're like that then you're confident. But it's not. There's quiet confidence. There's confidence in just being assured of who you are and being comfortable with who you are, and being comfortable with the fact maybe you are an introvert and you're a bit quieter.
Yeah.
It's not about there isn't a one size fits all box of confidence that if you fit in it then you are confident. It's not you have to become something else to be confident. It's not. It's about getting really comfortable with you and who you are and what you want out of your life, and going after that, following your truth. That's what confidence is. So it's confidence looks very, very, very different on everyone, but it's like an energy.
Yeah,
confidence is an energy, because we'll go on to body image, but you can even see the typical perfect body that we're always plastered with in the media, especially you consume so much of it when you're growing up. I think when you get older you realize that's not right, and then you start to filter your media and you have a choice about what you consume. But when you're growing up, it's always that slim figure, whatever, that perfect body image. And then when you see people come along who all this body positivity movement, and people like Ashley Graham, who's like a curvy plus size model, and she's so much confidence, like it's an energy. So this is what I mean. It doesn't mean you have to change yourself and fit into a box to be, yep, you're confident now. Like, oh, you're allowed to be confident now because you've changed yourself, you've done this. That is not what confidence is. It's about loving who you are now. It's an energy you give off. And then you're like, wow, that person's so confident. And it's just that self-loving energy, like that you're comfortable with yourself, and people, it's like magnetic. People like can see it so clearly and like feed off it. When you're like that, you let other people around you be like that. You inspire people, because we've been like brought up in a society to think that we're only like allowed to feel confident, or we're only deserving of it once we change and we fit and we do something else and we be a certain stereotype or certain kind of person, or the good girl or whatever, you know. So that's why when you'll see people who are just like, you know, go against the societal norms, but you're like, wow, their energy's incredible, they're so confident, you're like, but they aren't anything like what society tells you you should be to be deserving of feeling confident. And those are the people that are so refreshing. But that's a choice that they've made to show up that way, and we all have that choice every single day to start showing up that way.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. Like, you can so easily fall into the illusion, and I think we all do, because we're kind of taught that, especially like growing up, all the like magazine tabloids that we used to consume. Like, I'm actually so glad that I feel like it's like starting to shift, and in the future I really feel like it will. Like, you can even see it with like so many new campaigns now. Like, you see all the different body sizes, which is so good, but I think it's so easy to fall into that illusion. But like you just said, like, you can completely choose the way that you show up. And the thing about the energy is so true. When someone is like beaming confidence, like, it literally doesn't matter what they look like it's just completely an energy. And that as well, like with body confidence, but also with stuff like job interviews and stuff like that. Like, if you believe in yourself in every cell of your being, and you walk into that room and you know you do, like, you radiate that, and they pick up on that. And like, it's not saying that if you don't believe in yourself it's a bad thing, but it's just that you can build that, and you can decide, especially with body image, like, you can completely just set yourself free. But it's up to you whether you want to decide to like let go of that illusion, because like you said, we can be convinced that, oh, if I lose weight, or if I get this surgery, if I change this, then all of a sudden I'm going to feel confidence. But if you don't actually have confidence from within and working your self-love journey, like, you're always just going to want the next thing. That road to perfection just never ever ends.
No, and that's actually the opposite of confidence and self-love, is thinking that you have to change yourself in order to be deserving of the feeling. It's about making a choice that you deserve that feeling now, and you're worthy of that feeling now. And spending time like to, you know, figure out what it is about you that you love, that's great, your uniqueness, or your quirks, all these things about you that make up who you are, and starting to view them in a positive light. But I think body image, when it comes to confidence, like, people, you always think like because we're going to talk about confidence as a whole thing today. Like, it's not just about obviously body image, but this section we want to talk about body image, because it is something that when you think confidence, you straight away kind of think about that. So confidence is associated a lot with how you look and perceive how you look. So and body image is something that I think every woman at some point struggles with. Every single woman, because of what we all grew up like taking in and consuming. What was in the films, what was in the shows, what was in the magazines, and then obviously now we're on social media. You can sit there and compare yourself to people who have these perfect bodies and all of that all day long. Like, so it's something that you have, like, we all struggle with, like, everyone can relate. And like, we've all been there in that, like, not loving your body. But actually, how to love your body is to completely flip the perspective of what you see your body as, like what you see your body's purpose as being. So it goes from, you typically, when you grow up, this is what you kind of raised to view your body's purpose as, is that it's aesthetic, it's how it looks. How do your clothes look hanging off it? You know, if you've got a nice tan, how's your makeup looking? What's your hair looking like? All those things. And, you know, in a way, that's the fun part of it, like being able to express your creativity and your style, your personal sense of style, by dressing your body in an aesthetic, it's a fun thing, but that's not the only thing that your body is for. That's like actually one very small purpose of your body. The actual real big purpose of your body is that you live in it, and it's your home. It's where you live your life from. It's what holds your heart and your soul. It's where you get to love your friends from. It's the thing you get to hug your friends with. It's what you get to show love to your partner with. It's what you get to, you know, express love to your family with. It's what you get to sit there and have conversations with people with. Because you're just like, you know, who you are is your soul. You're like the little thing in your head. That's you. And this is just a vessel. It's just a vehicle for you to live your life through. And that's why when you view it like that, as a home, you start to look at it with a different perspective. You respect it more. And you start to think, no, why would I punish this thing? It's doing everything every day to serve me. It's pumping blood around my body so that I can exist. It's trying to keep me in perfect health every day so that I can live as long as possible. Like, your body's never trying to make you ill or anything. Like, it's always trying to fight infections, keep you healthy. So you have to, when you think about it in that way, you really do drop that just that mental torture of thinking that your just worth is based on how you look and that your body needs to, you know, change and all that stuff. And you start to appreciate it and respect it, and you start to treat it differently. You start to work out because you want to make your body stronger, not because you want to make it smaller. You start to eat healthy because you want to nourish your body, not because you're trying to like shrink or whatever, or punish yourself or anything like that, restrict, because then you'll be able to be confident. No, when you start to shift that mindset, you actually work with your body and mind start to connect together. You stop being at war with yourself. Like, because I actually think our bodies are like a separate thing to our minds, because when I've done this in my personal like confidence and self-love journey and shifting my body view to be this, it's like you stop going from being at war with your body to being friends. It's like you're two different things. And when you start to respect it, it respects you back.
Yeah.
And you get more in tune with it, and you just stop picking yourself apart in the mirror. And being like looking at things on social media and comparing yourself and like, you know, maybe editing your pictures and making yourself look smaller because you're not accepting of how you actually look, or thinking that a picture even defines you and getting freaked out by a picture from a bad angle and you're like, oh my God, you know, your world melts down. Like, you stop all of that.
Yeah, no, completely. And like we said, like, you can literally put yourself in a little prison. And it always makes me sad when I think of like, I think especially, I don't know if this was like a certain era or something, but I feel like there's a lot of like mums like around that, like maybe like, no wait, not mums, that's not right, it's just really, I feel like there's a lot of women around this age, like now I would say women like their 50s, 60s now, that kind of grew up in the, you know, like that like Weight Watchers era thing.
Yeah.
And there's like this huge disconnection. I feel like a lot of them wouldn't even, like, if you said to them, your body is so much more than physical, like, they probably wouldn't even understand what you mean. And it's not because they're dumb or anything. It's just that they've literally never, ever been exposed to that. And that's why it makes me so proud that this younger generation are, and they are starting to appreciate their body for all that it is. And as well, it's not to say that, like, you know, when we're saying you, like, when you're always wanting to change your body, like, it's not good for you. But it's not that you can't want to, like, change your body or change your appearance and stuff. It's just which place are you coming from. So, like, say if you go to the gym, say if your goal is, I feel unhealthy, I want to lose a little bit of weight. It doesn't matter that you want to lose weight. It matters at what point it's coming from. If it's coming from hatred, you look in the mirror and think, I'm not good enough because I have a few extra pounds, then that's coming from a place of hatred. It's not a good vibration, and you're never going to actually feel confident. But if you go to the gym and think, I'm going to enjoy my workout, I want to feel good, I want the endorphins, if I do lose a bit of weight, that's fine, then that's coming from a place of self-love. And like, that's a huge change that I had to make in my life. Like, I used to always like go to the gym, and like my aim was to always lose weight. So then if I didn't go, you know, if you like think, oh, feeling lazy today, don't go. And then I would like beat myself up so much. Whereas now I never ever do that. Like, I go to the gym now to feel good, to raise endorphins. For my body changes, it changes. And if I miss a day, that's because I'm listening to my body. I'm working in tune with my body. And everybody can do that no matter what your goal is, or no matter if you want like surgery or something. If you're coming from a place of self-love, like, only you can determine that. But I think you have to dig really deep and maybe keep asking yourself like why. If you want to change something about yourself, keep asking why and get down to it. And if it is coming from fear, then you can change that, come from unconditional love, and just know that you are actually perfect the way that you are. And it's just such a different vibration.
Yeah, because it's not to say, oh, if you're trying to lose weight or anything like that, that then, oh, that's a bad thing and you're doing it because people make you think you need to be smaller. It's not, because you might actually need to lose weight for your health and stuff like that. And that's coming from...
to protect your body,
that's coming from a place of love. So it's always about what is the place you're coming from? Where's the intention behind what you're doing? Is that's going to make the massive difference on how you feel, how your mental health is, how your confidence is. And it's all about not benchmarking your confidence. The same way we always talk about, don't benchmark your happiness. Your happiness is not coming when you get this X goal. The happiness is now, and it's a choice. And it's the same with confidence. Don't benchmark it, because you're never gonna get there. The goalpost always moves, especially when it comes to confidence and stuff like that. If you say, I'll be confident when I lose 10 pounds, you might, if you're like whatever, overweight or something, you might actually feel a lot better in yourself and healthier and happier as a result of that. But if you're just not necessarily on that journey of like actually needing to, lose weight for your health or anything, you just like constantly, when I dye my hair, I'll be confident. Or if I get some filler or something, I'll be confident. And again, not to like demonize any of these things, because do whatever you want. Like it's all just about the intention you're doing it. But it's about knowing that you are beautiful and worthy and enough as you are. And anything else that you want to add on, it's not going to make you more confident. Don't benchmark it. Don't wait to be confident there. It's about being a choice and starting to nurture it now, because it's a feeling.
Yeah. I think as well, with that thing about losing weight as well, if you come from a place of like, I want to lose weight because I don't feel good enough, I feel like what happens, and I've definitely experienced this, is like you'll lose a bit of weight. And so, like you said there, if you like put like a bench post on it. It's a bench post.
Yeah, like a benchmark.
Yeah, if you put a benchmark on it and say, oh, I want to lose a stone, and then you say, oh, I'm going to feel confident when that happens. If you're coming from a place of hatred and not feeling good enough, you get to that, you get maybe say like the dopamine, because you're always wanting the external validation. So somebody else might say, give you more respect or something because you've lost weight, because that is kind of like how society is run nowadays.
Yeah.
And then you get that rush of dopamine and you think, oh, that made me feel good. But because it's not from self-love and from within, you think, oh, I need to lose a bit more. Maybe I'll just lose 5 more pounds, then I'll feel better. And you just keep going and going and going. And that's how people get stuck like yo-yo dieting and stuff, because it's coming from this place of hatred, always wanting to lose more weight and then kind of like binge eating. And it's just like this vicious cycle. But like you said, you can literally just decide in the moment, I'm going to be confident, or I'm going to change how I feel. Like that's what I did. Like I literally didn't think, oh, I'm going to like sit for months and like work on like everything that I thought. Like I did do that kind of afterwards, but in that moment I thought, I'm just going to decide to be confident. I started looking at all these girls on Instagram that was so confident, being with confidence, and I thought, they've literally set themselves free, and I want to do that too. And I just like started taking pictures, stuff like that, and I thought, oh my god, like the more I looked at my body like with love, the more I just like saw love, instead of like hatred and wanting to pick things apart and change things. But anybody can do that. Like you can decide now, listening to this episode, actually, yeah, I'm going to think like that.
Exactly. Like confidence, especially when it comes to your body image and how you look, it's a choice, and it's a choice you make now in that moment. There's enough is enough. No more wars. Let's make peace, body and mind. And then from there, once you make that choice, when the student's ready, the teacher appears, and all the tools and things you need, and you open up your mind to the possibility that you can love yourself as you are, and you can accept your body as you are. So then, you open up like your receptors to that. So you start to notice that. You start to notice the people that beam with confidence and aren't what society tells you is worthy of confidence and stuff like that. You find books, you find podcasts, whatever, things come to you then to help you on your journey.
Definitely, all from within, because I can tell you now as well, like anybody in the world has insecurities, and like even what someone might think, oh, I love that perfect body type, they could be the most insecure person in the world. Especially on Instagram, you might see someone think, oh my god, they got a stunning body. But if they're at war with themselves, they could actually feel way more insecure than you would ever feel. So it's like, try not to idolize people's bodies or anything like that, because it's all from within.
Yeah, and I think like, when people are like, oh, I want to get my body like this person, and maybe you could train if you really want to try and attain that body type, but actually your body is what it is. Like your shape is what it is. So the quicker you can just accept that you look how you are, and that's absolutely perfect and fine, and you are you as you are for a reason, and you're beautiful for like in your own unique ways, and that you don't need to like have someone else as like your wallpaper of like your body goals, because you're never going to actually look like them anyway, because that's not you. That's not how you've been built. So it's like, don't punish yourself with that either. If you wake up every morning and the first thoughts that start to pop into your head are what stresses you've got in your life, what's not good enough, what is wrong with you, how you look, who you are, you need to try our digital affirmation playlists. They are 15-minute affirmation playlists with relaxing, meditative music behind them, all themed. As we've just been discussing body image in this podcast, we have a body positivity affirmation, and it's affirmations on a loop for 15 minutes that you can play wherever you are, in the car, set as your alarm tone, anything. Just play it, and these affirmations will start to rewire your subconscious mind, your beliefs, to be more positive, empowering belief systems that's going to really help build your confidence.
Yeah, these affirmations are literally life-changing. And we also have ones like self-belief and body confidence, as we just said. So wherever you feel like you need the help and support to change those subconscious beliefs, you can just play them and build up your confidence. And that confidence is what is going to help you start building the case studies. It all starts from stuff like affirmations and building the confidence first.
So to download yours, just head to our website, findingyourfeetpodcast.com. I've left the link in the show notes, and you can get your affirmations and start changing your life from today.
Okay, now, so moving on from body positivity, we're going to talk a little bit more about how you can really build your confidence from within. And when I first heard this kind of like theory, I thought, that literally makes so much sense. It's this idea that confidence isn't something you're so much born with. It's not something you're given. It's something you build from within, and it's something you can build with case studies and proving to yourself you can do it. Because if you don't prove to yourself you can do it, you're not really going to believe. Do you know what I mean? Like, you can tell yourself, I believe in myself as much as you can. But if you have no evidence to support that, you're probably not going to believe in yourself. So it's Stephen Bartlett that kind of brought this theory to us of building confidence in case studies. And I think this is just crucial in anything you do. Reminding yourself of all those achievements that you've made, all the times that you push yourself out of your comfort zone. Because then when it comes to something, and say you're not feeling so confident, you need to push yourself out of your comfort zone, you're going to think back to all the times you did do it, not all the things you can't do. Because like with the negativity bias, which you talked about in one of our previous episodes, it's so easy to focus on the negatives and all the things that we think we can't do. So reminding yourself of your case studies, all those times you were confident and you really just had that 5 seconds of insane courage and push yourself out of your comfort zone, is what is going to help you build confidence.
Yeah, to build confidence in like your abilities and what you can do, who you are like on the inside, and what you're capable of, and what your potential is, and what you can actually do. Like, half the time we do not tap into our actual potential. We don't get anywhere near our like the height of our actual true potential of what we've been blessed with within our own brains, our like talents, creativity, or gifts, or where we've all got different things or different strengths. Half the time we don't even tap into the full potential of that because we're too scared, because we don't believe that we can. That's why building your confidence in case studies is essential, because it literally proves to you, no, I can do it. So that's why you have to do things like daily or weekly that push out of your comfort zone, because that's where the case studies are built. They're not built in your comfort zone. They're built on the outside of that. So you have to step out and do things that are you gathering evidence about why you are confident, why you should believe in yourself, why you can do that thing that you think you can't, because your brain will tell you that you can't do it. That little negativity bias, that little voice in your head that wants to keep you in your comfort zone, in what's familiar, because that's what it thinks is safe, it will stop you from going for your goals. It will stop you from doing what you can actually do. And people underestimate themselves all the time. So you have to build up evidence against your own mind that you can do this, because so many times, like, I've even thought, I can't do that or whatever, and then I think, I have actually done that before a few years ago. So what are you talking about? Like, and you have to remind yourself. So like committing to doing things outside of your comfort zone, like every day, even on a small scale, little tiny things. Maybe you like, even like on such a tiny scale, like maybe you're like, don't feel that confident at work. You feel like you're socially awkward or something like that. You feel shy. So you feel like you've not got good social skills or something like that. A little tiny thing you could do to step out of your comfort zone that day is offer to get everyone a cup of tea. That's really random. But just say, does anyone want a cup of tea? And like, maybe you're not the person that normally offers. Maybe you're not the person that normally like opens up for group conversation and connection in that way. And that's such a small thing. We can go and do that, make the tea, bring it back. You know, your colleagues are happy, you built connection there, that you got positive response from it, and you go, oh, okay, right, that wasn't so bad, was it? And then maybe the next week or the next day, you can actually strike up a conversation with your colleagues and get a group conversation going or something like that. Like, it's very small, but it's those things that are going to make you believe that you can do it, because fear in what you want to do is always going to be there. At every single level, it's always going to be there. You do one level of something, like let's say it's in career, you get to one level and you needed like, you know, self-belief to get there, and you put in the work and you did it, and you had fear with you the whole time. And then but in your mind, you'd look forward to getting to that level and think, but when I get to that level, I'm going to be really confident, have no fear, because I will have got there. Like, you know, so cool. So you like put it on like a pedestal and idolize it. But actually, and like this is like what imposter syndrome is, even when you step up to those next levels and those next levels, the fear is still there. It doesn't go away, but it's about pushing through it anyway. And it's easier to push through it when you know, when you are reminding yourself of your case studies, your evidence of what are these things that you've done, so you can combat that fear and that little voice that holds you back, so that you will just go and do it anyway. Because even when, like, say you like want to improve public speaking, do it on a small scale. Like, you'll be nervous at first, and then once you do, you'll get less nervous doing it at small crowds, but then you go up to the next level doing it at bigger crowds. Oh god, it's a bigger crowd. You're still going to be scared. You still have to, but I've done it so many times with this smaller crowd. There's just a few more people. I've got all this experience. Why can't I do it again? And you have to talk yourself round. You've got to build up that. So start small. Do little tiny things. What is something that you're afraid of that you want to embody more of in your life, whether that is in career or just in your friends, anything, and just do little things that are just pushing you out of your comfort zone just a little bit, and then you get comfortable with being uncomfortable, and you keep doing it, and you expand it to be bigger things that you're being uncomfortable with, and then there you go. You've got a big filing cabinet of case studies about why you should be a confident bitch.
Exactly. I love that so much, especially with the fear thing. It's like in Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway, Susan Jeff's book. She literally speaks about how like the fear doesn't suddenly just go. Like we think like, oh, we'll build confidence or we'll get this position and then we'll be like in higher power and we won't be insecure or anything like that. But the fear never goes. The fear is always going to be there, but you have to feel the fear and do it anyway. And I think as well, like if you are not having like those little rushes of fear, those rushes of nervousness, then you're not growing. Like you're literally not growing. So like, if anything, you should feel super proud. Like if you're listening to this now and you're thinking, oh God, I have something next week, I'm feeling a bit nervous, or like, oh, Grace has just inspired me, maybe tomorrow at work I'm going to do this, I'm going to push out my comfort zone. If that makes you a little bit nervous, that feeling in your stomach, then that's good, because you're growing, and that's what we need to feel good every day, and to feel like we're improving, we need to grow. And that's especially things like confidence. And as well, a little tip, I always think about, you know, that quote where it's like, and I said it before, like, all it takes is like 5 seconds of insane courage, and like that could change your whole life. I always think of that. And even in just like the most random situations, like say if I'm somewhere and I'm like, should I ask this person this? And I think, oh no, I feel a bit shy, or no, I don't want to ask them. And I just think, just swallow it. Just 5 seconds of insane courage. Even if you feel like an idiot, maybe it's a question you might think, is this a stupid question? You don't know. Just 5 seconds, just do it. A lot of people won't, you know, a lot of people hold themselves back, the fear of like maybe looking stupid. Just 5 seconds of insane courage, just say it. And like those little things are things that could change your life, and they build up the confidence. Yeah. Like, and the things that you, in those little moments where you like see an opportunity and you're like, right, I need that 5 seconds of insane courage right now, but you bottle it and you don't do it, it lives with you forever. Yeah, it does. Yeah, it comes that memory of when you didn't do it. It comes back in your head all the time. You're like, oh, I missed out real good there. Yeah. Like that, you know, I should have put my hand up and asked the question, or I should have gone over to that person and introduced myself. Or because what have you got to lose, really? Yeah, otherwise, or what you lose is that you just sit there in regret and wishing that you did push yourself. So even though it's scary, it's better to be scared and do it than to sit with like the regret of not. And it's even on little tiny things. Like we've had things recently where we've been like,
probably should have like reached back out to that person after they said whatever, and should have done. And it's all about confidence, and you think, oh yeah, no, we really should have done that there, and then that lives with you. You think, damn, and it just pops up in your head every now and then. You're like, oh damn. Like I've had a couple of those like over the last few months, and I just think what to do with the podcast, and I just think, miss out there, mate. Shot yourself in the foot, but recognize that, and then be like, right, well, next time I'm not. That's going to drum up my 5 seconds of insane courage even more. Because you just have to do it. Feel the fear and do it anyway. Like you just got to do it.
No, exactly. All you can do is like learn and grow from it. Like now we're kind of like aware of like little times you might thought, oh, I wish I just done it. Just remind yourself for next time. Think, well, I felt like I let myself down a bit then. So then remind yourself, count down from 5 and think, I'm not going to do that again. I'm going to push myself. Because I feel like that we're at that stage now. We're literally like going for it.
Yeah.
Nothing is standing in our way.
You're the only one that drums up results in your life.
Yeah.
You're not just in work, in anything. You know, if you want more friends, you better start making more friends. You know, people might try and be your friend. You've got to be open to being their friend. But if you want to make more friends, start reaching out to people. Start putting yourself out there. Start making more friends. Start inviting people to do something. Like, start making connections. Start making friends at work. You know, ask them for a cup of tea. That's the starting point. Like, little things like that. You're the only one that can bring you the life that you want. You've got to build the life you want, and that takes confidence and courage. And it doesn't need to be scary. You just start small, doing little things outside your comfort zone regularly, and then it just spirals and goes bigger and bigger and bigger. And then before you know it, you got all these great things, and the fear is still there because you keep leveling up, and you just knowing that that's always going to be there. And you've got your big list here of why you should be confident to do presenting, to go for that job, to do this, because you've got these big case studies of all these other times you've won. But we so often don't remind ourselves of our like achievements and stuff. So you should like go back and write down like everything that you've done that's made you proud, or everything that you've done that's an achievement or something good. Just write it down, so you've got a big list, and then when your brain's like telling you that you're not good enough, you're like, well, there's the evidence.
Yeah. I think as well, like with that, even I heard a thing the other day saying like, at the end of the day, write down what you did good that day or what you're proud of. So like if you did something, even if it was something as small as asking your colleagues for a cup of tea, if they wanted a cup of tea, if you did that and that felt a little bit uncomfortable for you, at the end of the day, write down, I'm proud that I did that today. And you're reminding yourself, like it's literally like proven in psychology, like this works to help build confidence, because obviously we are attached to the negatives. You may like get in bed at night and think, oh, I actually didn't achieve that one thing I really wanted to do today. But if you did a lot of other things you're proud of, then write it down, like remind yourself. Yeah, like write like a done list. I think like you can feel really like unconfident at work and stuff like that by thinking, oh, I'm not doing enough, not getting enough done, and da-da. It's just like a repetitive story in your head. Whereas then if you at the end of the day write down, okay, this is what I did today, this is my done list, then it'll completely shift your perspective on, actually, today was a good day. I was productive. I did do this. I did make progress. But another way to like build confidence in your like case studies, and just like it, because a lot of confidence as well, it's needed to take you into situations where rejection is a potential outcome. Like there's so much in life where rejection is going to be there, and it's always on the things that you really want. So that's whether that's work opportunities, maybe building new friends. Definitely in dating, like massive rejection is there, and it's going to happen, and it's about being comfortable with that. Anything good that you want, rejection is part of the equation. So it's about getting comfortable with that, and like ways that you can get comfortable with it is like by sort of like warming yourself up to not caring as much what other people think. Like you're always going to care what people think, because that is our brain, primal brain cares what people think, because we want to be accepted, so we're kept in a tribe, so we're kept safe. We need to be part of a community. So you're always going to care what people think, but you can loosen that up so it's not caging you and chaining you down from what you want, where you're fearing rejection and all of that, by doing little things in public that may be a little bit weird or whatever. And then you're like, okay, right. So like this is like stepping outside your comfort zone thing, where you're like proving to yourself that you can do stuff. So I don't mean like, you know, run down the street naked or something like that. But, you know, like, I just want to.
yeah, like for me, like I do this workout app that I do. You can do some of the workouts outside, like in the park on a bench. Sometimes I go to the park if the weather's nice and I do a little workout on the bench. And I'm there and I'm kicking my legs about and I'm on my own and there's people looking at me and I'm like, I'm not going to stop. You keep looking at me. Because I don't care. Like, you have to keep doing that, and then the more you do it, the less you keep going back to the park doing a little workout. You'll just stop even noticing that anyone's looking at you because you're like building up that like thicker skin and that sort of resilience to not caring what people think by doing things that in public, like go and hug a tree, do something that's like seems kind of weird that you want to do. That you'd think, oh my God, people are going to think I'm really weird. Oh my God, people are going to look at me. People are going to judge me. And you do it anyway. And then you realise, oh, it's actually fine. No one even gives a shit what I'm doing. They're looking, they're thinking about what they're doing. And then, you know, that is very like subtly, subconsciously going to help you break down that fear that you might have of rejection, that's going to keep you caged from what you actually want.
Yeah, exactly. That is another way you can really, really cage yourself, I think, by caring too much what people think. Because I always think that, like, say for example, like when you see someone, I love this. I actually was on the tube the other day, and you like when people like will have the headphones in and they're like singing, and then you're like, why is that person singing? I literally love it. Like literally, this guy was on the tube the other day, and he was like singing all to his music, like he was just enjoying the music, got a little dance going on. And I thought most people wouldn't do that because they're thinking, what is everyone going to think of me? Like they're going to think I'm an absolute freak. But I'm like, if in that moment that makes you happy, if like, say for example, you want to do your workout in the park because that makes you happy, like not allowing yourself to do that because you're scared of the judgment of people you don't even know, like really when you think about it, it's actually just bizarre.
Yeah.
To do that is bizarre. Like you're literally putting yourself in a cage. And it's like those people that sing on the tube, maybe not really loudly because that could be slightly annoying on your morning commute, but those people that sing to themselves on the tube, do a little dance, don't care in the park, hug trees, they're the happiest of people because they really don't care. And it's like when you get on your deathbed and you think back in your life, you're really not going to care what people thought of you, especially people you don't even know. And yeah, like you said, it's like building that thing of not so much caring. Like if you can do your workout in the park and think, he's going about his day, I don't care what their opinion is of me. Then when it comes to like pushing yourself out of your comfort zone and thinking, oh, well, people are going to watch me now. I've got eyes on me. I'm like trying to start this, trying to do that. You're not going to care so much because you know you've got that self-belief from within and you have your confidence from within, and like no matter what happens, you're trying your best.
Just trying your best. I remember actually when I lived in London, I'd be on the tube and I'd read on the tube. And I remember I'd sometimes, because I'd always just read some cheesy self-development book, always.
Oh yeah, me too.
And then I'd be like, I don't want people to read the title, like, You Are a Badass. You know, like, that's such a good book by Jen Sincero. But, like, reading that's bright yellow and it says, You Are a Badass, How to Stop Doubting Your Greatness and Live an Awesome Life. If someone isn't into personal development, doesn't know that book absolutely bangs, they're going to think, oh, what the fuck? Oh, well, no, they might not. But your head will tell you that. So you'll be like, you might miss out on 20 minutes of life-changing reading time that's going to make you read one sentence that's going to change your life that day. and you're not going to do it because you're scared to get your book out on the tube. You know, things like that. Like I used to do that and be like, oh, don't want to see me reading I'm a Happy Sexy Millionaire, or you know, because they've always got cheesy clickbaity titles like these books, even though the actual content of the book is very good. So you know, it's little things like that, like just do it, you know, and you'll start to get more comfortable with potential rejection, because no one's actually going to go, you nutter, put that book away. What are you reading that on the tube for, you bloody weirdo? Like, no one's ever going to say that to you, but your mind is going to make you think that. So the more that you, like, do that thing, you know, sing and dance on the tube, if that's what you want to do, you're going to silence that little voice. And that is essential.
Yeah, for sure. I think once, actually, just reminded me, I think once I was reading on the tube, The Unexpected Joy of Being Single.
Oh, right, yeah. People can, like, you feel like people could read into your brain and your life and where you're at in your life right now based on this personal development book that you're reading on the tube.
Yeah, I was thinking, oh, God, do they all think I'm, like, a sad single person? And I'm like, I promise I'm a happy single person. Like, what are they? But really, they probably weren't thinking, they probably weren't even reading the title.
Yeah, well, they're thinking, oh, that's a cool book. Do you know what I could probably do with reading that?
Exactly.
If you've been feeling really low recently, a bit anxious, stressed, you've got some life problems, you're feeling really on your own and life just feels really heavy, you are never alone. Therapy is the incredible tool that's going to help you move through the difficult moments of your life and get you into a better state of mental health.
Yes, and one of the main things that really does stand in the way of people going to therapy is the financial investment. That is why we are really proud to be sponsored by BetterHelp, who do offer therapy at a more affordable price than your traditional offline therapy. And BetterHelp is available worldwide, so wherever you are listening to this now, you can get the support from BetterHelp.
And we have a discount for you guys to get 10% off your first month of online therapy with our podcast sponsor, BetterHelp. Just go to the link betterhelp.com/finding your feet. That's betterhelp.com/find your feet. We've left the link in the show notes. If you click through there, the discount is automatically applied to your account and you will be matched up with a therapist in just 2 days of making an account. Therapy will cost you around £40 per week with BetterHelp. And when you compare that with offline counselling, you can end up paying up to £100 to £200 per session. So it's much, much, much cheaper. So you don't need to let financial investment stand in the way between you progressing with your mental health and living a healthy, happy life.
Yeah, and just know you are so worth the investment. If you are on the fence about it, just know that you are worth it. And if you want to build that self-love from within and work on your inner world, you are worth it and you can do it.
So to get the discount, just head to betterhelp.com/finding your feet to get 10% off your first month of online therapy with BetterHelp. So another massive thing with building confidence and being a confident person is about who you are surrounding yourself with. Because if you are surrounding yourself with people that do not want to see you shine, that don't want to help you win, that are insecure in themselves, that are not empowering, it's going to be very, very, very hard for you to be a confident person. And I've got my finger wagging out here. I'm passionate about this.
She means the business.
Yeah. And Joe, especially in romantic partnerships, friendships, yeah, huge. But especially in romantic partnerships, that's a person that you're with pretty much every day. And they're the person that sees every part of you. And they're the person that you look to for love, because that is part of a partnership. Obviously, fill yourself up with love, but a relationship has to involve love. The way it's set up, if that person isn't rooting for what's best for you, and they're projecting maybe their own sort of insecurities on you, and because even people can be, you can have relationships where the other person feels threatened by their partner's success or things like that. So and you see it I've read in certain fitness books about oh, my partner doesn't want me. It's kind of sabotaging me trying to get healthy and fit because you're making them feel bad because they're not. So if you're not around people that aren't full in themselves and aren't happy to be happy for other people, it's going to be really hard for you to be confident and to hold that confidence, because you're going to get chipped away at day by day. And then with friendships, if you're not have empowering friendships, you're also gonna, you absorb the insecurities and the judgments of those that you surround yourself with. So if you're sat there out for lunch, you're catching up with your friends and they're talking about how much they hate their thighs and that they feel disgusting and that they're so ugly and horrible, you're gonna go away thinking, oh, what do I think of my thighs? Yeah, maybe I could change mine. Oh, if I think they're absolutely stunning, so if they think they're ugly, then what am I? You go away and start thinking thoughts like that. Whereas if you were not surrounding yourself with people like that, those kind of thoughts would not even be entering into your head.
Yeah, no, it's completely about that, who you surround yourself with. Because it goes back to, again, feeling we want to almost fit in. Because say, if you work on your own self-love and you feel really good from within, and then you just said that example of people maybe degrading their body, naturally you're oh, have I got something wrong with me because I love my body? Do you know what I mean? It's very natural instinct to want to fit in. If you're in a crowd of people and everyone hates their body, it's very natural to want to hate your body because that's the way we're wired, and that's why you have to completely go against it. And it doesn't mean so much that these people that are dragging you down, it's not that they're bad people. A lot of the time, especially in relationships, it's almost an unconscious thing.
Very unconscious.
If you're threatening their say potential, something like that, if you're highlighting to them what they're not good at, what they're not doing, they may try and sabotage you and they might not even notice.
No,
it doesn't mean they're evil. It doesn't mean they don't love you either. It literally just means that, again, it's natural instinct. You're highlighting to them what they're not working on and they can bring you down, and it's up to you kind of in a way to think, well, this isn't right, if you're not helping me, if you're actually just hindering me because you're coming from a place of pain and insecurity within yourself, then that's not going to benefit you. Like, all we can do is work on ourselves and then work on surrounding ourselves with people that can help us. And if someone, is not helping you, it doesn't mean that they're a bad person or they're evil or they're trying to, like, they may be trying to necessarily bring you down, but they probably don't even notice they're doing it.
Yeah, because any time that you project jealousy, your own insecurities and your own pain onto other people, it's because you have things within yourself to work on. And if you don't have that self-awareness to even know that, then it's going to be incredibly unconscious behavior. And you might not necessarily, because you're like trying to ruin your partner's life or trying to ruin your best mate's life, you just don't even know. And it's just pain that does not get transformed gets transmuted. So if you haven't like dealt with your own insecurities, your own like self-love and or not enoughness story, whatever it is that you've got within you that makes you feel not empowered and is that negative voice that keeps you back, if you haven't dealt with that, it just gets transformed, like transmuted onto other people. You project it out. So it's essential to within yourself do that so that you can be the empowering friend that you would want for yourself. But also just be aware of like what you have around you. And even if like, you know, you have got friends that are like that, doesn't mean that you have to go and stop being friends with them, because they might actually have very good hearts, but they just have their own insecurities and they don't even realize. But just be mindful and just think, okay, I'm hearing them saying these things. I'm hearing them worry about X, Y, Z that normally doesn't even cross my mind as being something I need to concern myself with and be self-conscious about. I'm going to choose not to absorb that and not to engage in that. But there's even in like on another level, there's this thing in dating, like there's so many terms that pop up in dating now, like about like all these different types of things that people do, but it's called negging. And it's where people like they sometimes do it completely unconsciously, like they don't even realize, or they do it consciously, but basically like try and like patronize you or undermine you so that you are then more susceptible to their romantic advances. So if somebody's sat there on a date with you and you know they're making you feel a bit small, they're giving you a bit of a backhanded compliment, they're saying something, but then it comes with another pff, and you're like, you just complimented me there, but you also just threw in something that makes me think, what? So you're saying it's a form of like manipulation. Sometimes people don't even realize that they are doing it to someone. What is it going to do? It knocks your confidence down, makes you question yourself, makes you get a little bit self-doubt in there. And then what happens? You're slightly more vulnerable and you're susceptible to their romantic advances. And things like that can happen. It happens in dating. It's now got a term. So you've got to be careful, you've got to be aware, and you don't want to turn those kind of people either into your actual partner, because if they're doing that to you in the dating stage, you're going to have zero confidence when they become your partner, because you're going to have that 24/7, very subtle little things. So you've got to really pay attention to who you're around, and like really pay attention to who you feel good around. When you leave someone, what's your energy feel like? Do you feel a bit drained? Do you feel a bit insecure? Do you feel like you question yourself? Do you feel like you've now got some new self-conscious worries that you've got to now think about? Because someone else told you that, you know, they go around every day worrying about the size of their ears. So now you think, oh, do I need to worry about the size of mine? When before that, it was never something you ever thought about. You've got to think about who do you feel good around? Like when you leave them, who do you feel full of confidence? Who do you feel full of self-love after you've been with? Who do you feel better about? Who do you feel empowered when you leave them? What the feelings do you have? Because that's a massive telltale sign as well as who's good for you. Because and not saying everyone's bad, but there's who your friends are, if you choose wisely, you're actually putting yourself up to win. Because that's one of the very beautiful things is that humans can do for each other is pass on self-belief and help other people back themselves, help other people believe in themselves. Like you'll get that same effect from listening to this podcast. You're choosing to consume something really positive and uplifting and empowering, so that will rub off on you and you'll feel that. And it's the same with your friendships. Like you have that opportunity to make other people feel that good. So you know, choose wisely, because you could actually put yourself in a situation where you can be a much better version of yourself. You can win more, you can reach your potential more because you believe in yourself more, because your friend's telling you how good you are. She's lifting you up. She's giving you confidence. But it can go the other way.
Yeah, it totally can. I think that thing about negging as well is so interesting. Like, I can't believe that's got like a concept now. I reckon so many people probably heard that and thought, oh my God, that's what that is. And I think the thing with stuff like that is, like you said, because it's like backhanding compliments and stuff, you almost feel like you don't know how to question it and stuff like that. But I think as well, like you just said, it's really important to kind of think, if you're maybe in a situation like that, maybe even your friend or your partner is doing that, don't concentrate so much on what they've said, because especially with backhanding compliments, that can get really confusing.
Yeah.
Concentrate, like you said, on how it makes you feel. Like, if there are certain comments, think, regardless of what they said, how did that make you feel? Like, did it make you feel small? And I think that is the most important thing. If it made you feel small, if you made you question yourself, then they are not the right person for you, because they're literally just reflecting their own insecurities onto you, especially in dating, especially in relationships. And yeah, completely. I love that thing about self-belief, how you can pass it on. It really is just like completely up to you who you surround yourself with and who you consume. Like, every single day when you wake up in the morning, what is the first thing you listen to? Is it something positive? Because if it's something negative, like the news, something like that, you're literally setting yourself up to fail. Like, listen to people that really, really believe in themselves and like soak the energy off of them.
Yeah. Like, no one has the power to like actually make you feel shit. It's like a choice. Like, they do. So you might, so in the initial stages, so they might make you feel small. You might leave that date or that social meetup or whatever you've been to, and you feel a bit small and a bit insecure and whatever. And you think, why do I feel like that? I don't normally feel like that. That's when the choice is. That's when you decide, actually, nah, like, they're not the kind of people I want to be around, and you walk away. I think, like, sometimes people are like, no man or whatever, no one has the ability to make you feel shit. It's how you, but they do in that thing. But it's then the choice is then, do you continue seeing them, or do you actually see it there and think, no, like, I love myself, I back myself. I don't believe their weird backhanded compliment or whatever that they're negging. I'm not going to sit there and like dissect it. And like, I know, like, having that strong foundation of confidence and like self-worth within yourself, like, protect that as well. So to bring our confidence episode to a close with one final point and our quote of the week, but you got to think, you are the only one that can give you everything that you want in your life. You know, people can help you, people be part of the journey with you, but really it all is down to you, and it starts with you, and you're the driver and you drive your life. You're the one in charge. And to get what you want in career, friendships, relationships, in how you feel about yourself, everything, you need confidence to take those steps to do that. So having confidence is essential to give yourself the life that you actually deserve, to actually tap into your potential, to actually, you know, do justice to yourself, use the gifts you've been given. Confidence is necessary. You need to have confidence to be able to do that. So it's a choice, and you've got to make that choice now to commit to being confident. We've told you like how. This is how you build it. This is how you protect it. What confidence truly is. You're the one that has to decide now, right, okay, I'm going to be a confident person, and I'm going to do what it takes to get me the life that I want, to give you, like, you owe it to yourself.
Hell yeah. Literally couldn't have said it any better myself. I really just believe that in the bottom of my soul. If you don't believe in yourself, then you're not going to push yourself and do anything anyway. So at the start of everything is the belief and the confidence. And like we just said, you can literally switch it on today. No one is going to give it you wrapped up in a bow. You have it within yourself.
So the quote of the week is, you know who's going to give you everything? Yourself. So have confidence in who you are, and backing yourself is essential.
Yes.
Power.
I'm presuming all you guys probably feel well fired up now. I would feel so fired up after listening to this.
Yeah. And like we said, it's a choice. It starts now. You can choose now to start being confident. It's not a benchmark. It's not that you have to do something else first. It's about building those case studies. It's about viewing viewing your body how it deserves to be viewed, looking at what you're good at, looking at what all the great things about you, starting to remind yourself of that. Redefining confidence. Following your truth.
Keep that in mind this following week. Just think of those 5 seconds of insane courage and build those case studies.
So you never know where that 5 seconds of insane courage could actually take you, you know?
Yeah.
You never know. You never know. But thank you very much for listening, and hope you enjoyed this episode. If it helps you, share it on your Instagram story, share it in your group chat, send it to your mate. That's how the podcast grows. The best is by word of mouth, and you guys spreading the word about finding your feet, getting it out to more people so they can build their confidence, find their feet and feel amazing. So if you want to join our community as well, do come and follow us on Instagram at Finding Your Feet Podcast. We're sitting in our new studio. The logo is on the wall, so if you're watching on YouTube, you can see it right now. But if you aren't watching on YouTube, come and follow us on Instagram so that you can have a look at what our new studio looks like, because it looks cool. We're very proud of it. So come and follow us on Instagram at Find Your Feet Podcast to join our community, connect with us further. Send us a DM, let us know what you thought about the show. We absolutely love connecting with you guys and talking to you on there.
Yeah, definitely come and follow us. And like you said, if you do have any of those friends that you think need to work on their body image or the energy that they're showing up with, this episode could really, really help them. They may have never heard of these concepts before, so definitely go and send it to your friends. And lastly, if you do need a little boost of inspiration every Monday morning, we do send out a weekly email to all of our finders on a Monday morning, whatever has been resonating with us that week, and it usually gives you that boost of inspiration that you need for the week. So if you do want to sign up for the Monday morning mailing list, you can head to the link in the show notes to sign up.
Thank you for listening, guys, and we'll see you next Wednesday.
Bye.